You may think this place is paradise, but trust me, you don't want to go. Over the last couple of years, we have all been pretty much stuck at home. So as soon as travel restrictions were lifted, everyone was eager to explore the world again. It seemed like every single person you knew had some sort of tropical vacation planned. But there was one common destination that everyone was talking about, and that was the island of Bali in Indonesia. While Bali is undoubtedly a beautiful place, you might want to reconsider visiting after hearing what happened to us during our recent trip there. Bali is an Indonesian island in the Lesser Sunda Islands between Java and Lombok. It's known for its forested mountains, iconic beaches, and ancient temples. And while we were aware of how crowded it was going to be, we had no idea just how bad it would actually be. Let's start with the good things about Bali. First of all, the nature is absolutely stunning. From the lush rice paddies to the beautiful beaches, you can see why it's such a popular destination. We visited both the Bukit and Uluwatu areas, and both are very picturesque. We loved exploring the different temples, too, especially Tanah Lot, which is located on a rock formation in the sea. Even though it's very touristy, it's definitely worth a visit. The best time to go is at sunset, when the sky is all orange and red. The highlight of our trip was definitely Ubud. If you're looking for a more authentic experience, head there. It's home to the Tagololong rice terraces, which are absolutely breathtaking. These rice terraces are unlike anything I've ever seen before, and it felt like we had stepped into a whole other world. Now, let's talk about the food. As you know, we love to try local dishes wherever we go, and Bali did not disappoint. From the fresh fruit smoothies to the delicious satay, we were in a food coma almost all of the time. One of my favorite dishes that we tried was babi guling, which is a suckling pig dish. It's usually served with rice, crispy pork belly, and a side of crackling, and wow, was it delicious. If you're a fan of seafood, then you'll love Jimbaran Bay. We went to this really cute restaurant where we could pick out our fresh fish, and then they would cook it for us right in front of us. The food in Bali is definitely something to rave about. The biggest reason that Bali has gone viral is because it's become so popular on social media. Everyone wants to go to the most Instagrammable places, whether it's the famous rice terraces, the cliffside restaurants, or the beautiful beaches. It seems like every other person is taking photos for their Instagram feed. And this has led to overcrowding in some areas. So if you're looking for a peaceful and relaxing vacation, Bali might not be the best choice right now. So here's the thing. While Bali is undoubtedly beautiful, we left feeling pretty overwhelmed and honestly, a little bit disappointed. And here's why. The first issue we encountered was transportation. Getting around the island can be quite challenging, especially if you don't have a car. Ride-sharing services are not available in many areas, and local ones are extremely unreliable. We ended up spending more money than we expected, because we had to take taxis everywhere we wanted to go. Also, parking is a nightmare. In some areas, it's extremely hard to find a parking spot, especially if you're driving a scooter. So if you're planning to rent a scooter, be prepared for some serious stress. And speaking of scooters, I highly recommend not renting one. While it may be a fun way to get around the island, the roads in Bali are extremely chaotic. There are cars, scooters, pedestrians, and dogs everywhere. So you need to be very careful when driving. We actually saw a lot of accidents while we were there, and it made us realize that it's just not worth the risk. I know a lot of people like to rent scooters because it gives them more flexibility and freedom to explore on their own. However, I strongly disagree with this. Hiring a driver is actually a much safer and more convenient option. You can hire a driver for a full day for around $50, and they will take you wherever you want to go. And another bonus is that you don't have to worry about getting a parking spot because they'll park the car and wait for you while you explore. Another downside of Bali is the crowds. This is probably the biggest issue facing the island right now. It seems like everyone and their mother is in Bali, which can make exploring the island quite frustrating. I mean, even getting a simple coconut on the beach is a challenge because there are so many tourists around. And this leads me to my next point, which is the cost. Because Bali is so popular, prices have skyrocketed in recent years. Accommodation, food and activities are all overpriced because of the high demand. It's definitely not the budget-friendly destination that it once was. Before we arrived, we had heard that Bali is a very touristy place, but we didn't know just how bad it would actually be. We couldn't even walk 5 minutes without being approached by someone trying to sell us something, and the scams are endless. For example, we had a driver who took us to a restaurant and told us that it was the best place to eat. He said that the food was amazing and that he would personally pay for our meal. Little did we know, he was getting a kickback from the restaurant for bringing in customers. So basically he was getting paid to bring tourists there. The food was honestly not that good. So it felt like we had been scammed. One of the most disappointing aspects of our trip was the state of the beaches. I know that Bali is supposed to be a tropical paradise with white sand beaches and crystal clear water, but that's not what we experienced. Many of the beaches were dirty and littered with plastic waste, which was heartbreaking to see. The water quality was also not the best. We saw sewage and waste floating in the water, which made swimming almost impossible. Now, I know that these issues are not unique to Bali, and that many other places around the world face similar problems. But it still was disappointing considering that Bali is supposed to be this beautiful island. We actually ended up leaving Bali feeling quite stressed, and we wouldn't recommend it to anyone who is looking for a relaxing vacation. I know that Bali is supposed to be the land of smiles, but we didn't really experience that either. The locals seemed overworked and unhappy, which was sad to see. It almost felt like they had given up on smiling and were just going through the motions. And this is probably due to the overcrowding and the stress that comes with it. Overall, we give Bali a thumbs down. We understand that Bali is a beautiful island and there are many things to do and see there. However, the crowds, the cost and the scams made our experience very negative. We wouldn't recommend it to anyone who is looking for a relaxing vacation or a true cultural experience. However, if you're looking for a party destination or a place to let loose, then Bali might be for you. That being said, there are plenty of other places in Indonesia that we would recommend instead. Places like Lombok, which is much less developed and more authentic. Or places like the Gili Islands, which are known for their beautiful beaches and relaxed atmosphere. Thanks for watching.